Would you believe me if I told you it took me an entire year to make the decision to buy this new media center that I'm showing in today's video? After I made the decision to finally buy it, it then was delayed for 4 months, but it did inspire today's video. Our living room is one of the most used spaces in our home, so why not give it a little refresh? So I got the email that the delivery was scheduled and it was going to be there at 9 a.m. So I am rushing to get all of this moved out of the way so that they can come in and bring it in. The rug, the couch cushions, the living room in general is due for a deep clean. So once they get this delivered and I can quickly clear all of this stuff out, then I'll move on to doing a lot of deep cleaning. But welcome back to all of y'all who have been here for a while. And if you're new here or if this is your first time coming to my channel, then I really am glad to have you. Cleaning up your house is one thing, but maintaining your sanity is another. I like to say if I helped motivate you do something, then I've done my job. But if I've helped inspire you do something, then I've fulfilled my purpose. With 3 kids 5 and under, a dog, a job, and YouTube, I just do what I know best. Take it one day at a time. And hopefully you can relate. But at the end of this video, if you have gained any inspiration, then I would love for you to subscribe. If you're also due for a living room deep clean, then take advantage of this time to get started. Also, keep in mind that I am very chatty in my videos. I probably belong on a podcast, but I feel like just watching me does not paint the whole picture of what is really going on. It's not a highlight reel. There is struggle in everything that I show and do, so I like to talk about that. And first, we've had this media center for almost 8 years. I bought it whenever we moved into the house, and I've never moved it. I've also have these vases that have fallen over several times. They've been glued back together. That second one there, you can see has, when I show a close-up, it's been glued back together a couple of times. And the other one where there's just an empty hole, it's because when that one fell over, the pieces just shattered and there was no way to glue it back together. So, you know, you just do what you do best. You just turn it around and hide that piece. But now I'm kind of over them. They've served their purpose. They've been broken one too many times, and it's time to say goodbye. They don't bring me spark and joy anymore. I originally purchased this media center from Wayfair. My goal whenever I was looking for furniture was to, and this is what I do a lot of the times when getting ideas for decorating and design, is I'll go through all of the high-end stores like Restoration Hardware, Pottery Barn, all of the higher end stores, and I'll get an idea of the size and maybe the style I want. And they always make similar pieces or dupes at other places, Target, Wayfair, Joss & Main. So I will go onto those sites and look for basically the dupe. And this was a Restoration Hardware dupe I got at Wayfair 8 or so years ago. Now, when I said earlier that I found a piece of furniture, the new media center, and it took me a year to purchase, is because I could not find a dupe that I loved more than the original piece. The original piece was very pricey and I couldn't bring myself to spend the money on it, but I sat on it for so long looking for dupes, looking for something similar, and I decided that I didn't want to just settle for something and not love it because I was looking for a dupe that ultimately wasn't going to be what I loved. So here I'm just vacuuming up all of the cobwebs and dust and everything that I have not cleaned in several years. But speaking of making decisions around money, if you haven't watched that new show on Netflix called How to Get Rich, I do recommend watching it. So Ramit Sethi is, hopefully I pronounced his name right, is a like finance guru, and I actually followed him on Instagram for a while before I knew that he came out with a Netflix show. So if you are familiar with decluttering and organizing and you have watched like the KonMari Netflix show and, you know, heard about her concept about only keeping things that spark joy, or like if you go the minimalist route and only keep things that, you know, make you happy and you get rid of everything else, the way that he views money is very similar. So it's not like telling you what you can and can't budget for or what you should spend money on and what you shouldn't spend money on. It's about how to create your rich life, or just budgeting and spending money on the things that bring you joy. He also says that he does not like budgets, which I feel like I can completely relate to that. I don't like budgets. I don't like to-do lists. I don't like things that make me overanalyze things, which is, I tend to do that a lot. So the more and more details and weeds I get into, then the more it overwhelms and stresses me out. So anyway, I'm reading this directly from his Instagram, and it says why he doesn't like budgets is they look backwards instead of forwards. They drag you into the weeds of $3 questions. Like, this is an example. Should you spend $3 on a cup of coffee, or are you wasting your money? Budgets don't tell you where or how to spend your money. And again, this is from one of his Instagram posts. He believes in focusing on the big wins. He believes in playing offense and not defense, and that you can spend extravagantly on the things you love and then cut costs on the rest of the things. Now, how does this all tie back to what I'm doing is because that some people will think I'm crazy to spend money on a nice piece of furniture or decorations for my home, but to me, it brings me joy. It's what makes me happy. I'm looking at it every day, and when I sit down on my couch and look at it, I feel relaxed. I feel like money just becomes a stressful topic in itself, and sometimes I can't justify what other people spend their money on, and some people can't justify what I spend my money on. But that is the whole concept of Ramit's like financial strategy, is to be able to live your rich life and to be able to not feel guilty when you're spending your money on things that bring you joy. Now, I'm not saying go in debt or anything. This is not financial advice from me. That's just a disclaimer, right? Do your own research, but I did find his show helpful. All right, so I've just about got everything cleaned up. The guys are going to be here in a really short time to bring in the new media center. And voila, it's here after a year looking at it online, 4 months being back ordered. I am in love with it. It's 90 inches long, and I did get it from Arhaus. I went back and forth on getting the matching coffee table, and the only reason why I didn't also get one of the matching coffee tables is that it was a little too long, and I want to go with a round coffee table. There's one that I've been looking at for a couple months now. I've been eyeballing it, and I think that it's the right one. So it's from a place called McGee & Co. So if you are familiar with the Netflix show Dream Home Makeover, clearly I watch Netflix a lot. Shay McGee owns all of these different design lines. She has a beautiful decor style. I love her decor style. She has a line at Target, which is the Studio McGee collection, which you may have heard of, and then they have like a higher end line that is called McGee & Co. And here I'm undoing all of the cushion couches because I'm going to wash everything along the couch, and I find this little ladybug, which is good luck, so hopefully that is something good for me. But this coffee table at McGee & Co., I'm going to wait till Memorial Day. I'm really hoping that they run a sale and I can get it for 20% off, which is why I've been waiting to buy it. But if they don't run a sale anytime soon, then I may just go ahead and get it. Also, because I'm changing a lot of the furniture to black, instead of buying a new table, an end table behind my couch, I have that kind of matched this coffee table here. I'm going to stain it. So you'll see at the very end of the video, I tried to DIY stain the wood. I don't want to paint it. Chris kept asking me to paint it, and I'm like, no, I want the wood grain to come through. I want it to just be stained. So I'm also testing out staining the furniture for the first time.
To keep it nice and clean, not freak out and cause a scene. I try to hold it together, keep it together. Not sure who I really am, just be cute and super bland. I try to hold it together, keep it together. Been playing it down, but I'm so getting tired. Now won't you meet high? 'Cause I've been so baby, put the record on, baby, put the record on, hit it. And I've been needing that crazy, and I gotta let it go. So baby.
So can you believe Rye is already 9 months old? Rye is my 9-month-old baby boy. He's our last. And so basically we spent a lot of time on the floor because he's learning to crawl, sitting a lot and playing with toys, etc. So that all over the rug is throw up or spit up, whatever you want to call it. I know it's gross. And also our dog is 13 years old and she is having a lot of accidents in the house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out this little green machine, and this is basically just a upholstery, carpet, whatever, shampooer, spot cleaner. I'm going to focus on cleaning up these spots that are like legit orange, and you can really see on the rug. So I'm going to focus on cleaning up these spots, and then I'm going to go back and shampoo this rug. Now this rug is from a place called Miss Amira, and it's supposed to be like this performance rug. It's not a washable rug where you put it in the washing machine. I like rugs that are a little thicker. So this one is thick, but it's also, I wouldn't say it's like super soft because it's supposed to be like, I don't know if you can say stain resistance, but like I would just say a higher performance rug. I'm also going to use this little green machine to clean the side of the couch. So I can take all of the cushions off the couch and wash them, and that works perfectly. But our dog Piper also, she likes to rub against the side of the couch. So we tend to have like a lot of dog hair, and then just from us having this couch for about 8 years, it's just gets stain and dirt on the side. So that's what I got from, you know, doing that little quick shampoo on the stains and on the side of the couch. I know it's gross and it's disgusting or whatever, but I'm like, the dirtier the water, the better cleaning that I was able to do. All right, next I'm pulling out the Tinco carpet shampooer. And every time I use this, so this is one of my favorite shampooers, but every time I use this one, I feel like it doesn't pick up on this rug. Like I said, this rug is like a high performance rug, so it's a low pile, like meaning it's not soft. I don't know how to explain it the best way, but I feel like when I use it, it's never dirty, and I'm like, I know this rug is dirty. What just happened there is that my breaker went out, and I was like, what is going on? This shampooer stopped working, and I went and got the other shampooer, this one, which is the Bissell, and I turned it on. I'm like, this one doesn't work either, and I'm like, oh duh, the breaker went out, so I had to go flip the breaker switch. So I'm just going to go ahead and shampoo the rug with this shampooer, and then the top of it popped off. I'm like, why isn't it sucking it up? Well, the top of that piece wasn't on all the way, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just not working for me today. But anyway, I got it all fixed, and I'm going to shampoo it with the Bissell. And I will say the Bissell worked a lot better on this particular rug. Now, the reason why I do like the other one, the Tenco, is because it also has a drying feature. So you can like go through, shampoo it, and then go back through and dry it. And that one works great on my carpet upstairs because it's a little bit thicker carpet. But because this rug, I've already said it, is low pile, it's a little bit different. I found that the Bissell worked a lot better on this particular rug.
I was knocked down, heard the countdown through the haze, in the face of defeat, yeah. I was ruled out with no bailout, on my own, all alone, left to bleed out. But I rose up from the ground, just like I was spellbound. All the odds were against me, so I picked up the pace, and now I'm in the race. Give me some space. I'm a movement and I ain't losing. Gonna go, 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 like a bullet, won't take no. You should know, no, 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 I'm about to explode.
So this shampooer picked up a lot of dirty water, which makes me happy, but I don't have any concerns with like the rug being too wet where it's seeping underneath the rug and ruining my floors, because I can control the amount of water that comes out. So when you click the button, it'll spray the water, and then you like let go of the button, and then that's when you kind of suck up all of the water. So I've checked a lot of times. I've shampooed rugs in our living room for a long time, and I always check underneath. We also have like a rug pad underneath so that we make sure that it doesn't seep through and ruin the floors. So next I'm going to put everything back, and then I'm going to start organizing the new media center. So I have 4 bins. These storage bins are from Target, and they are actually the Studio McGee collection. And I have toys in here because in my mind this was going to be great toy rotation. I'm going to put all the toys in there, and then every so often I'm going to swap them so that if there's kids playing down here or if Rye's playing down here, I have toys downstairs, but they're just hidden. And in my mind, this toy rotation was going to be perfect, and I just, I don't rotate the toys. I'll just tell you that. But these are what these boxes are full of. Well, that one I put like baby toys in, so that way if Rye's playing, I can just grab the bin, and it's not like a bunch of toys visible everywhere. So I would love to decorate this really pretty. But I need to like put my cable box. We have a PlayStation box down here, which I would love to get rid of, but I have to compromise for Chris. So as much as I would love to make it all beautiful, I have to make it realistic too. And speaking of toy rotation, my agenda for doing the toy rotation, let's just say it's on my agenda. When I get to it, I don't know. I do want to go upstairs and just put everything, all the toys in boxes, and only bring out certain toys at certain times, kind of rotating it, but like whenever they ask for a specific box, I'll let them play with it. And you know, I have all these great ideas and all these great methods, and that takes time, right? So I will get to it. I just cannot promise or guarantee that it's going to be like immediate. But all of my cushion covers are dry. It takes a long time. I have to take everything off, and then I have to do it on gentle cycle and then gentle drying cycle, and that typically takes double the amount of time. So it just takes a while. And then when the cushions are all tight, it takes forever to get the cushion covers back on the cushions. So that's what I'm doing here.
Right now I'm standing in the corner. I see you from across the room. It's kinda crowded here, but I know you see me too. Everybody's singing, oh, everybody's singing, oh. I don't know what it is about you.
So going back to kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of this video about like money and about items in our home can be stressful for a lot of people, including myself. And I talk a lot about changing your mindset and a lot of like personal development type things, because I think in this niche, like cleaning, organizing, doing whatever, is like one of the most underrated jobs. It's like you do so much work to maintain a household for a lot of people or even yourself, and it often can go unnoticed. This may cause you to reject wanting to do it because you feel like it's not worth it. When I first started my organizing journey, I always cleaned my house. I did not organize it. I felt like, what's the purpose? It's too much work. It's so overwhelming. I just rejected it completely for years. I was listening to this podcast this morning, and it was about changing your mindset around things that you either can't control or things that you are rejecting. And it said that the more you reject it, then the more suffering you have. When you start to embrace it and relieve yourself of the rejection, you can then change your mindset and free yourself of the suffering. We suffer more in our heads than what we do physically a lot of the times, right? So why do we do this to ourselves? So for the longest time, I rejected my pantry, my closet, my office. I mean, if you've seen those videos, you know those were heavily rejected areas. The worse it got, the more I rejected it, and I knew nobody else in the house would do it. I had to focus on the feeling that I would feel when it was completed, and then I had to be self-disciplined enough to get to work. So I had to stop rejecting some of the things that seemed hard and embrace the fact that I can do it. So I'm finished with my phase one. I got the old piece of furniture out. That one's going upstairs, the new piece of furniture in, and I've done some good deep cleaning in here. The next thing I'm gonna do is stain this little console table. I watched one YouTube video, so I'm pretty much an expert. You know how that goes. And it said to get some cloth-like rags. I got this, what is it? The Verathine, I'm not even gonna pretend to pronounce that right. A pre-stained wood conditioner, and then a black stain, and then a stain brush. Now, you don't always have to use the wood conditioner, but it said that it would help the stain set better, I think. So I ended up deciding that I was going to go ahead and use it. I'm going to do one thin coat of this conditioner throughout the whole table. I'm going to slowly wipe away excess, and then once that's dry, then I'm going to start applying the wood stain.
Every night I'm going on the grid, texting back, I want you, hit you up, I'm on the other side, I miss you, take you off, I came in way too strong, cannot keep it low key, got me drugged, your pheromones hit the roof, auto, your taste, is really a bad reception out there, where you heading, why ain't gravity pulling you in closer to me?
So speaking of doing difficult things, Sailor is graduating from pre-K and moving up to kindergarten, and they've been working on this graduation, what is it called? Like ceremony / they're singing this song, or they're basically performing on stage, and she's been coming home every day practicing and, you know, practicing her song. And the night before the graduation, she is saying, I think I'm too scared. I'm going to have to be up on stage. This is her first time to be up in front of like a large audience, obviously with her class. And she's just saying, I think I'm too scared. I don't think I'm going to be able to sing my song. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And one thing that we've been doing recently, and that has helped her tremendously, and it's like, I also have to say this to myself, is that, you know, I look at her and I tell her to repeat after me. I am brave, I am strong, and I can do this. And I said, Sailor, what do we say? And she's like, I am brave, I am strong, and I can do this. And then she goes up there and does it. And I'm so proud of her. It's just like this mental shift that you have to have in order to almost like believe in yourself that you can do this. And the fact that, you know, she's doing it at 5 years old is just incredible. And as an adult, I have to do this too. I have to believe in myself too in order to be able to accomplish things that seem difficult, like staining this table. No, I'm kidding. So I'm putting the black stain on, and then it says to let it sit for 5 minutes and then rub it off. So I kind of put it on, and then I'm wiping it off. And when I'm wiping it off, it's also wiping the stain off. Like, I don't want it to be even a little remotely brown color. I want it to be all black. So what I end up doing is not wiping it off a whole lot. I'm kind of just like dabbing it off. And later on, I question if that was the right thing to do.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground.
So the reason why I say I didn't know if that was the right decision is because it stayed sticky for several days. And another thing is that we went through like this huge several days of rain. So that's why I had to move it inside, because I knew that it was supposed to like storm later that day and then like storm the whole rest of the week. So I kept it in the garage, and it was sticky for a while, and it almost still is, I want to say, a tiny bit sticky. When I put it back inside, I put a piece of tape on the end so that if it does touch the couch, that it won't like put black on the couch or anything, which it hasn't. It's not like sticky to where if you touch it, like your finger will turn black or anything. But I just feel like I don't know if I should have put a seal on it. If you guys are like professional stainers or just like stain a lot of material or wood or whatever, was there any special after coating that you ended up putting on here? Or did you just stain it, let it dry, or whatever? And I also don't know if this is real wood. I mean, I think it is. The media center before was not. The inside part of it, it was actually almost like I want to say like a paper, like a film, because it was coming up. It was just like wood paper that was just like stuck on the shelves, and then it's like you can just peel it off and then it'll peel like that wood paper off. But anyway, this, I think it's real-ish wood. Again, this is from Wayfair as well, so I was like, hopefully it'll work. The stain will work good on this, and if not, then I'll just figure something else out. So I've just about finished putting all of the stain on there. I'm going to go back one last time and kind of wipe and dab the excess stain, but I'm not wiping it like a lot because I don't want it to also wipe the stain completely off of it. Then I'm going to wait a few days for it to dry. Like I said, it was, I want to say 3 or 4 days for it to not feel super sticky enough to bring it inside. So with just a can of stain, a can of the stain conditioner, and a brush, this completely transformed the look of this table. It matches the new media center perfectly, and I absolutely love it. So here's what it looks like back in the living room. But I did want to thank y'all for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope that it inspired you to stop rejecting the hard things that you've been putting off, because you are brave, you are strong, and you can do it. If you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join me in my upcoming videos.